Get comfortable and grab something tasty. February is the shortest month of the year, but I have a fat stack of books to get through, so let's get into it. All the books in this book haul were purchased online, some via specials and deals that may no longer exist. In fact, probably all of these are specials or deals that no longer exist. The first up is Don't Fear the Reaper. This is a signed copy. Stephen Graham Jones's follow-up to My Heart is a Chainsaw, which I did not read. This is a sequel to a book I did not read from an author I've never read. It is signed. It came from Books A Million. They were having a deal. Buy 2 books, get 1 free. And so when I looked at their books that were available, there were only 3 that I thought I would want. The fun thing is that they were from 3 authors I've never read before, and all had new books coming out. I have a feeling I will really enjoy Stephen Graham Jones. My understanding is he has a style that's hit or miss with some folks. And yeah, it's possible that it'll be a miss for me. But the way it's described as more flowery prose, maybe, that could be something I dig. I have no idea what this paper is. Probably the receipt. This book is the last in the 3 to have shipped to me from Books A Million. The first 2 were How to Sell a Haunted House, signed by Grady Hendrix, and The Shards, signed by Bret Easton Ellis. So this rounded it out and actually concludes my dealings with Books A Million, because they shipped me these books in vacuum sealed bags. Really weird packaging job they did, where the book is in the middle of like a bag. It's a cardboard bag. It's a really hard thing to explain when you have a limited vocabulary and a soupy brain. But imagine like 2 pieces of cardboard over a book, and then it's like sealed around the edges, and it's odd. It's like this big for a book that big or whatever, and the sides are all flapping around. And so it's not a box, it's not an envelope, it's some goofy ass hybrid that when I got the Shards was torn up. So my Shards was demolished, and I wrote them a letter saying, hey, look, what can you do for me? Can you at least send a new dust jacket? Because the dust jacket was destroyed. The spine was dented, and the corner was dinged. But it was a signed book by Bret Easton Ellis. I wasn't sure they were going to be able to replace it if I went that route. But regardless, they sent me a label, and they said, send it back to us, and if we don't have a copy, we'll refund you the money. But if we have a copy, we'll send it along. So I gambled. Whatever. I dropped it in a box, a much better packing job than I got, shipped it back, and then a little while later I got a shipping notice, and they sent me a replacement copy that was signed. So kind of a good end to the story, but this was also damaged in shipping. This was thrown into a box, which is an improvement, but there was nothing else in the box other than the book and a bunch of coupons for affiliate businesses they are working with to take advantage of. I don't know if these affiliate businesses paid them to exploit their customer base. Whatever the case may be, the book bounced around a lot. It ripped, the dust jacket ripped, and the spine got dented there. You could see it a little bit. Well, you could see it a lot right there. Look at that. So that concluded my relationship with Books A Million. No more will I go there for their great deals on damaged books. I unsubscribed from all their emails, and they can just kiss my ass now. I'm done. If I get signed first editions, it's going to be from VJ Books moving forward exclusively. Or, you know, if an author has a relationship with a independent bookstore, like, for example, Jeff Vandermeer in Florida, and Jason Pargin with Parnassus Books in Nashville, or Blake Crouch with Maria's Bookshop in Colorado. If that's the case, then I'll go there, of course. But other than that, it's exclusively VJs. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. And late last year, it was announced that Jeff Strand was writing the novelization to Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, a movie I don't remember, though I do remember the operatic theme song to the movie. It's like a campy B-horror movie where a tomato attacks people. And I think they just rolled down hills. I don't remember it. It's ages ago since I saw the movie. I kind of filed it away with Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I don't know why. I don't think it's fair. It was probably more along the lines of The Stuff. If you remember that movie, The Stuff. I actually can't find any reference to that movie anymore. So it's either the Mandela effect or I've slipped into a parallel universe somehow, some way. And now I'm in a universe that didn't have The Stuff. It's a movie about people eating like a Cool Whip type substance, and then they die. I don't know what happens to them. Again, a long time ago, a lot of beers between then and now. But when Jeff Strand was tagged to do Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, I was all over it. And the publisher, who has a really hard to say name, which is Bad Branding 101. You don't want a bad name that people can't say into a video when they highlight your product. So it's like Encyclopocalypse or something like that. I'll show you the name. It's right here. Encyclopocalypse. Anyway, here it is. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. This looks just like the VHS case. That's what you would have seen in the video store back in the day when there were video stores and not DVD vending machines or streaming services. You would actually have to select this off the shelf and say, yes, I want to watch that. And they also had a special edition in a mass market paperback. Like, this is super retro. This is how paperbacks used to be. This size, sort of, they'd fit in your pocket. They gave them artificial damage and distress wrinkles just to give it that little flavor, that little retro flavor. So nowadays, paperbacks are like this. Back in the day, paperbacks used to be like this. I'm a crusty old man, so take my word for it. My disappointment came, and I think you might have already gotten a peek at it when I showed the name. There's this huge crease on the back. Huge crease. I mean, come on, man. To quote Joe Biden, come on, man. I just got you two paperbacks, and one's got a crease. But since I paid very little for these, I didn't want to reach out and ask for a replacement and whatever. You know, I think I'd been more upset if it was this copy that got damaged, because this is, I think, a more limited sort of deal. But these are not signed or anything. And they came with a bookmark and a sticker. I think that was a special promotion. Also got like a discount. It was a Black Friday pre-order special. Something like that. I took advantage of it. And I got these at a discount. So I think both books cost 20 bucks or like $14 for both of them. Together, not like 14 each. I don't remember. It was something crazy. But don't let it stop you from going over to Encyclopocalypse. Seriously, why would you? Encyclopocalypse and ordering a copy. They also have really cool novelizations from other cool movies, like Fright Night, that's there, and others, I don't remember. Worth checking out. I've bookmarked them, and yes, that is a strike one, that little crease. But if in the future they have other cool novelizations, I'm going to buy. Another sale I took advantage of was a Subterranean Press sale, where this hardcover Joe Lansdale book was marked down quite a lot. I got it for $18. It is a signed, limited edition of a collection of novellas from Joe Lansdale. And what's cool is that each of his novellas are introduced by a different author. So you get like Poppy Z. Bright in there, Robin Hobb, David Show, and Norman Partridge. But you also got Richard Chizmar. So you got the good with the bad. But it's a beautiful, beautiful dust jacket art. I'm digging it. I love Joe Lansdale. You can't go wrong. I got my packing slip from Emmy. She packed my book. And there's no interior art, but all sub-press books are signed with a nice signature page and numbered. I believe this book is still available, but probably not as cheap as I paid. This is a book I ordered last year, and it showed up this week. The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This wasn't part of the Grady Hendrix bundle. Those 4 books were Horror Store, My Best Friend's Exorcism, We Sold Our Souls, and the Southern Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires. But then they announced, SST announced the Final Girl Support Group in addition to that bundle, and I bought it to keep my collection going. And while it was not on sale, SST does some of the most affordable, amazing limited editions you can get right now. In contrast to Subterranean Press, who does limited editions for about $85 and they have no interior art, this is a book you can get for about $45 to $50. It's loaded with interior art, done really well, production-wise. And you get a postcard with a handwritten postcard with every book you order, or every order you get from Paul Fry. So I think this may be the first Grady Hendrix book I read. Fantastic artwork from Francois Villancourt, a very cool signature page. There are 7 signatures there, but only 2 are real, Francois Villancourt and Grady Hendrix. The other 5, I believe, are characters in the book. They may be the slashers that the Final Girls are running from. So I can't speak to that since I haven't read it, but I am going to read this probably as my first Grady Hendrix book. So rounding out my book haul are 4 books from one of my favorite authors, Philip Fracassi. First up is Gothic. This is the Cemetery Dance edition. This is the paperback. I also ordered the hardcover from them, but the hardcover was set back a little bit, so they're shipping that separately. But you can order both a paperback and a hardcover from Cemetery Dance, I believe, as of right now. You can go there and get them. But the paperback is gorgeous with Keelan Patrick Burke artwork all around it. And one of my absolute favorite stories from Philip Fracassi. This is classic King-like. If you like Stephen King, you're going to love Gothic. I don't think I've met anybody who's read this book who is a thumbs down on it. Not at all. That's quite a feat for an author to pretty much get universal praise on a book. So this, Child Alone with Strangers, you can't go wrong with Philip Fracassi. Awesome stuff. Now, I've read this previously as the Earthling limited edition, but now there are the trade editions coming out, and I also have a trade edition hardcover signed coming from VJ Books. So I don't know if that's back up on the website, but if you want a signed copy, you can go to VJ and get hooked up with a signed Gothic. Other limited editions came out from Philip Fracassi, including Beneath the Pale Sky. This is the Thunderstorm Books Black Voltage series, limited to 208, with beautiful wraparound dust jacket art by Tomislav Tikulin, and it's epic. It is epic. The end sheets remind me of the Jaws numbered edition end sheets. Very cool. The best end sheets I've seen on a Thunderstorm book that I've held in my hands. This is number 55. I wanted number 5 to match my Gothic and my Boys in the Valley from Earthling, but unfortunately 5 wasn't available to me from Thunderstorm, so Paul over there hooked me up with number 55. So it's like doubling my 5s. That's all it is, and it kind of fits in with the family. So I am very happy to read this. I've read every story in here. but I have not read the story notes. So that is exclusive to this edition. Story notes for all the stories in Beneath the Pale Sky. Oh, did I not mention it's a collection of short fiction from Philip Fracassi? And each one is killer. Great books. I think Harvest might be my favorite, but then The Wheel might be. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Because they're all so good. And right as Thunderstorm was shipping Beneath the Pale Sky, they took orders and shipped Behold the Void along with Beneath the Pale Sky, making it a matching set, and these shipped together. I mean, that was like, this was previously basically unannounced, and it was ready to go with the other Fracassi collection. Now, I haven't read Behold the Void before. It's a collection of older stories from Philip Fracassi, but I've heard nothing but great things about these as well, and I have absolute confidence I'll love every one of them, because I have yet to read a Fracassi story I don't like. This is the same print run, 208, as Beneath the Pale Sky. The same artist, Tomislav Takulin, did the artwork on the dust jacket, and I didn't show you the naked book for Beneath the Pale Sky, but it looks exactly like this, except different words. They're still in a box, and they still have Philip Fracassi there, and they still have the big B there, but it just says Beneath the Pale Sky. But this is what the naked book would look like, with like a leatherette, bonded leather, binding materials, perfect binding, so it's not sewn, it's glued. Very cool end sheets in this one as well. Purple with a little bit of metallic shine. And then, of course, the all-important signature and matching number, 55. And now I've heard a pretty solid rumor that there may be more Fracassi Thunderstorms in the works. So if you're a Fracassi fan, if you're a Thunderstorm fan, pay close attention to those newsletters, because there may be more in the works. But regardless, you should be following Fracassi and Thunderstorm, of course, whether they join forces to create more magic or not. And then finally, there is this little magazine out of Poland called Interzone. It is a collection of stories. This is issue number 294, and it has all these people in it, which is a lot of good people, a lot of great authors in a very thin space. But it is a very well-designed publication. I love the layout and the type treatment. And here's the reason I bought this. It has a short story by Philip Fracassi called Murder by Proxy. And I jumped on this to get that. And I am very impressed with the quality of this magazine. It's shipped from Poland in great shape, well designed, and loaded with authors I've never read. So I'm very excited to thumb in through this and getting this. It cost about 11 euros. I don't know what that means to you, wherever you are. But not expensive at all. Not at all. And very cool thing to get. So I'll be keeping an eye on Interzone and probably dipping back in to see if they have any authors that I'm familiar with, because it'll be hard to resist. Subscribe. So that's my book haul. It made me very thirsty. It makes me very excited for all the sweet reads I have before me. And like I said, a lot of these books are still available. Actually, Beneath the Pale Sky is not available, but Behold the Void is. There were 5 copies as of yesterday. So maybe they're gone by now, but I'll put the link in the description so you can check it out. And any other books that are currently available, I'll link to there as well, so you can share this joy and read. But I gotta say, I was even happier than I expected to be with the way several of these pre-orders turned out. So I hope you enjoyed following along and got maybe a little excited for a future read for you, maybe something you didn't know about. So let me know what you think in the comments. if you've read any of these authors and if you have favorites, if you're excited for anything I shared, let me know. I'm happy to get some guidance on where to begin with Grady Hendrix or Stephen Graham Jones, or if you have a favorite story in Fishing for Dinosaurs. But until next time, have a beer, have a book, and stay frosty.